Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the R6 Siegecast presented by myself, Ghost115, and my co-host, Maze. You can find both of us on Twitter using the links in the description or the links on screen. In this first episode, we have a special guest, JNhan Smile, on, as he's known on Twitch, just JNhan. He's been a Pro League player playing for Orbit for a couple of games of Season 1, Year 1, and since then, he's kind of been hopping between teams. He played for some Pro League teams. I believe he played in Omen in Year 2 sometime, probably Season 1. I probably should have looked all this up before recording this intro, but I guess that's how it is. He also played in the most recent season of Pro League for Era Eternity, together with Super, K9, and all of them, who of course are going to the Invitational. Without him, he was dropped from that team. He's currently looking for a team, but we got him on the podcast to talk about Siege, competitive play, his past, and just generally about the game. So I hope everybody enjoys. We didn't record this intro live, as we just kind of kept the conversation flowing, and I think that's how I'd prefer to have the format, where you just kind of start the episode, not really have any introduction necessary. But thank you to special guest JNhan for appearing on the show. I hope you guys all enjoy this first episode. This was recorded some time ago. I believe it was 2 weeks ago now. So it's not the most up-to-date conversations. We're talking about, rumors and stuff like that. And predictions for stuff that's already happened by the time this episode goes up. So apologies for that, but hopefully the time from recording to uploading should be a bit shorter in the future, so that the rumors and gossip that we talk about on the show is a bit more relevant. But aside from that, I hope everybody enjoys the episode, and we'll just be getting right into the show.
Who did you play against them when you were with Orbit then? Because there's a load of their games.
VWS.
Oh, you played in that?
Yeah.
Really? When you guys lost Cafe?
I think so. Well, I think I played Bank, and
It was House and Cafe here.
Yeah. Back in season,
Orbit
yeah.
K9, Orbit Kicks.
I'm pretty sure I played. We played Bank. I don't remember what team actually. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
I was gonna say, it says here House Cafe, and I don't. Well, was your name anything else, or was
No, I
it
don't-
always been
It
Nan?
was
I don't-
HC.
Oh.
What did you say?
It was HC. HC
Uh,
Arosi.
Oh yeah, you are here. You're here against VWS.
Oh.
Yeah.
On
the,
Cafe?
good old Thermite here
Oh.
on House. This is on House.
Did you play on Cafe too?
I don't remember.
Um,
I thought I played Bank against them, but I guess not.
yeah, he played Cafe as well.
That's interesting, because I watched that game, but I thought it was just the normal. Like, what was the roster? It used to be like K9, Kicks, Snake,
K9
Young,
wasn't.
and
K9 wasn't there that day.
Really?
Young was never on Orbit.
Oh, no, but he was on Orgless though. Season 2 or season
Young?
2. Wasn't he? Young? Because at the LAN finals, because Orgless lost to Youngtis, didn't they? In season 2.
Here we go. Hang on. This Orbit here says Canadian Young, K9, Kicks, Snake.
Yeah. Canadian
remember
Young
the
K9.
old-
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
think I was talking to you about this. Do you remember Youngtis?
I do, yeah.
It was the old Millennium.
Six quarter spoken yogurts Falco Ranchero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that roster. Yes, I do.
That was season 2. They were good, right?
Yeah, they're real good.
Well, they won, so they're probably
yeah.
good. They're like the least memorable winning team, I think. like no offense to
Like
them. But
you
it's
wouldn't
like,
you wouldn't mention it, but you would know like who they were, you know.
Right. Because
When
like
someone mentions it.
I was gonna say you hear like Ranchero and like yogurts. They're like, yeah, we're like one-time Pro League champ, and a lot of people are like, when the fuck did that happen?
yeah. But then again, everybody on Penta season 1 was like, I don't know, like they're not really around anymore. I don't think. Because
Aside from Tengu.
well, yeah, obviously. I don't know.
Yeah, Penta had a couple roster changes back then.
Yeah, I think that didn't they like almost fully change roster every season. Like Pengu's the only player that's been there.
They
Yeah.
picked up Unas after beating then Sisu in the final.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because
Wait,
they
Sisu
picked up
turned into
Junas?
Ents, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I don't know. I remember watching the season 1 finals. It was interesting. It's weird how much the meta's changed because like back then you could just abuse anything. Like people just played. Like I remember watching a game from Plane.
Here you go. Auglis, the X Orbit, K9, Avian, Snake Nade, Jarvis, Slash.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh
But Jarvis
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
with
That
them at
was.
LAN, I don't think.
No, they replaced him.
Yeah.
Here we go. A really old Sisu versus Penta. Let's see these rosters here.
No, that's the first
Sisu.
finals.
Here we go. Protax, Wilkie, Shate, Vapo, Boonsy. So this is not the
Vapo,
first
right?
one because Unas is on Penta here. The
No, but
Penta
Junas
lineup
didn't
here-
play against them in the finals. Not in season 1.
Oh. Okay, yeah. This isn't season 1. This is still an old one though.
Oh.
Fabian on Ash. Let's
I
go.
remember that. Fabian on
Remember,
Ash is like
Fabian was an Ash mate.
it's upsetting. I remember that was like season 1 this year. Season 1 V3
I
Masters versus Penta. Season 1 year 2. That I remember
Yeah,
seeing
so-
Fabian. He was playing Jaeger like the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, this is upsetting."
Do you remember Sai for Penta?
Yeah,
That guy was a beast on smoke.
yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the roster here was Fabian, Pengu, Unas, Sai, and is it Trindatobi? I can't. Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's Toby. Tornado Toby, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was
something like
pronounced
that.
Tornado Toby. It was just a bunch of weird letters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that. That was funny. I don't know. It's weird seeing Pengu back
I
then.
think this is. Hang on. Protex Wookie Boonsy, Vapo, Ketty. The Ketty guy. I can't say his name. I can't say it.
Katamistari.
That one.
Yeah.
I can't say it. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. This is an even older one. Not quite that old though. I don't think this was the final. This is Wilkie, Protax, Boonsy, Vapo, the one I can't say, against Sai, Pengu, Lackey, does that say Rendier, and Tornado.
Yeah. Because I remember, Penta had like a weird roster. Like Six Quattro was on Penta at one point. What's his
I
name?
think like everyone.
I don't remember. Yeah, like every good player in Europe has probably been on Penta at one point or another. I would imagine. I don't know. It's interesting because like we talk about the roster changes in NA all the time, but
Like nobody really remembers EU.
yeah,
There's
because
loads-
EU year 1 like roster changes were happening like constantly. But
It's because like NA was like the center of NA was like
And-
the center of Siege at that time because everyone was like, oh man, NA's gonna win, you know.
yeah,
NA's gonna win, NA's gonna win, but then all of a sudden, a wild EU team, Penta, just comes out of nowhere, or like Youngtis, you know,
Yeah.
they start winning.
Oh my god!
I don't
remember
know.
This team, searching org, seek org.
yeah. When was that? That's an EU team, right?
Yeah, but it's Panics, Enemy, Meepy. Is that Iga and LMs?
Oh,
No,
that's
that's a-
when they became playing ducks. I remember
That's a sick
that.
roster.
Yeah, this is right before they became playing Duck.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, everybody was talking about, like, I remember year 1, or year 2, season 1. I remember Kickstar talking about how,
Yeah, I think what I'm looking at now, I think this is year 1, season 2. I'm looking at the moment. That's why.
yeah, I think so. But like Kickstar was talking about how in season 1, like year 1, season 1, NA came to LAN and EU was just like leagues ahead and played like way better than that. But it's like, the Orbit went to 3 maps. And the only other
I
team at that LAN, the only other NA team was VWS, and it's like it's not shocking that they lost to Penta on LAN.
Yeah, this
Season
is it,
1.
The year 1, season 1 final. Rendir, Sai, CV, Pengu, Crip.
Yeah, right,
Crip on
Crip.
the Super 90. Back when it was good.
That's the thing is like season 1, like everybody just abused super OP stuff. Like, yeah, this is Super
Like
90 got
shoddy- it was
abused
the
so
shoddy
much.
meta.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ents team, Protax, Ketty, whatever your mum, Wilkie, Boonsy, and Unas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is Shate wasn't on the... Shate hasn't been to every LAN. Like, he wasn't on LAN season 1.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on most of them.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, because I remembered clearly that there was only 2 players who have ever been at every LAN.
If I ever go to LAN, I'm stealing the chairs, guaranteed.
Yeah, stealing the chairs.
Stealing their chairs.
The gaming
what the
chairs.
heck?
Yeah, even
Oh.
though I've got one.
I thought you meant like the chairs in the audience, like you mentioned that you said that yesterday or something, and you're like, oh, if I ever go to LAN, I'll steal those chairs, and I thought you meant like the like fold up chairs that they have the audience sit on, and I was like,
No,
that's such
I'm
a weird
taking
thing.
Yeah, they can keep that. I'm taking their actual gaming chairs that they set up.
Yeah, exactly. Those ESL,
I mean,
the
I'll
ESL
take
chairs
the
they have in the
monitor.
caster's office is pretty sick.
I'll take the monitor as well. Oh no,
I think-
Euronics Gaming. Oh,
Euronics, yeah. That was also a notable team, I remember too.
Well, that was season 2, right?
that was invitational period. That was just for.
Oh, really?
Invitational.
Oh, they played at Invitational, didn't they?
Yeah. Panari, Renewals, Snooken, Secretly, and Shootex.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
a
right.
great side.
I remember, I don't know, because I started watching, like, paying attention to Pro League around the time of Invitationals. Like, I watched the finals live, like the two semifinals and the two finals.
I got into it just before the original Invitational.
Yeah, right. So that's around the time I started watching. It's interesting now watching like knowing all the players, like, because there's not a lot of new like.
We've been talking for about an hour. Are we actually going to start recording soon and get an?
No,
intro
I've
going?
been recording for 15 minutes.
No, I didn't know. I didn't even know. Oh yeah. By the way, everyone, we've got a guest, JNhan. Woohoo!
No, that's,
Hello.
but that's what I was saying is I was gonna do. I'll do the intro later. Like I'll record the intro afterwards. Like I just wanted the conversation to kind of keep flowing. Don't worry about
We'll
it.
just cut this bit out.
Yeah,
You're just talking about old teams and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Should
don't
we
know.
cut to what's happening now then, instead of going living in the past.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, like, I think year 2 was like a big major step up in meta, just because, like, there's operators like Hibana
Yeah,
and stuff
Well,
like
I
that,
think- In my opinion, the two operators that I think changed the meta the most was Mira by a mile and Hibana.
yeah. I think I would agree.
It was Hibana and Mira, because, like, I mean, Mira, you got like that one-way window, and actually, everyone started using Twitch more. I remember Twitch was only used for as a fragging role and like just killing ADSs, I guess. But now, like, because Twitch drones are now so important, everyone started actually using utility for Twitch a lot more.
It's really weird
remember-
how just what you're saying.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I remember like K9 used to play Twitch all the time, right? And then Snake was always like, "No, K9, stop playing. Stop playing Twitch. We don't need a Twitch, dude. We need a Thatcher, right?" That's why K9's always put on Thatcher now. But before, he would always play Twitch or something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting how now like people wouldn't really like people who've been around for a while don't remember, and people who are like fairly new wouldn't expect that like Twitch wasn't very in the meta before, because her drone isn't amazing. Her gun's good, obviously, but like a gun isn't enough of
I
a
think
reason to
the
pick an
F2 is
operator.
Probably, in my opinion, right, the way I rate guns in the game, there's like a god tier, there's a good tier, there's an okay tier, and then there's like the shit tier.
Right.
In the god
Right.
tier, in the god tier, in my opinion, there's 4 guns that stand out above the rest. You got the R4C. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
Jaeger's carbine.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
MP7.
Jaeger's carbine shreds people.
You're right.
MP7 and the F2. They're the 4 guns I hold as the best.
I mean, to state the obvious, I feel like you're missing the Scorpion.
Oh yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
Ela's gun. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about Ela's gun.
No, but
Fuck
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so the 3 best guns in the game, or well, the top 2 in my opinion, the best attacking, the best defending, obviously Ella's gun and yeah, the F2, like, it's just because the F2 has so easy to control recoil, insanely high. I mean, it's just like the best gun you could possibly
What
have,
I'm
pretty
gonna
much.
laugh at is a couple seasons down the line, once they finally nerfed Ella into the ground, like do it.
Blackbeard style.
I want to be talking to people about how amazing she was. She had no recoil and 50 bullets,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the newcomers are like, "Really? What?"
and 3 concussed mines instead of 4.
I
You shouldn't
remember.
have got a 4.
No.
You shouldn't.
I don't know.
No.
The thing about Ella is like it's so ridiculous. Like it's hard to believe that they didn't realize she was blatantly just broken when
I mean,
she was
You
released.
gave her a gun right, with 50 bullets, really good damage, really high fire rate,
Yeah.
hardly any recoil, and concuss
I think it has the
grenades,
highest
learn
fire
where
rate
they are.
too.
The
It's like next to
SMG-11.
it's next to the SMG-11. It's
Well,
like the
like,
SMG-11,
how
Bearing
can they
9,
do that
Scorpion
and not
Evo,
know
and SMG-12. Sorry, what?
like they release it, and how can they not like instantly say, yeah, this gun's gonna be too strong?
I don't know. I remember seeing somebody leaked the stats, just like the plain statistical. It just said the numbers, right? And I was like looking at it, and I was like, this operator is broken. That was like a month before Ella was even announced, and I was like, this operator is going to be the most broken thing ever. And of
To be
course she
fair,
is.
in my opinion, I feel Zafia is kind of broken, but we're not seeing her that much. As I think, well, personally, I like her. I think she brings a lot to the table utility-wise. Obviously, got them flying impact nades, which is essentially similar to Ash, and then you've got the concuss mines, which help when you want to push in and get those aggressive pushes going. So I personally, I like her for that reason, but I know there's a lot of people that actually don't like her for some reason. But in my opinion, I think she's brilliant. Great gun, great ability, but we're not seeing her on attacks, so I don't think teams are used to her that much.
On paper, she's like a really, really strong operator, and I don't know why she's not like picked more. Maybe JNhan, maybe you have more insight into like why.
Wait, which operator?
Zofia.
Zafia.
Sophia. Okay, so one of the reasons why a lot of people don't play Sophia is probably just because like there are more, I guess, utility wise, um, and the raw fragging power of Sophia, it's just not as great. I think like yeah, sure, she has impacts and stuff like that, but in order to get to site, I mean, people, I guess a lot of teams just prefer having a lot of breachers rather than just have Sophia's raw fragging power. Cause like
Yeah.
I know like she has a super insane like rifle, right? And then she has like 4 concussion mines,
Yeah.
and then or concussion grenades, and then 2 impacts. Like to me, I thought that was gonna be super OP, but when you actually do it in competitive play, cause like what people would do with Zofia is like mindlessly rush with her, in my opinion. Like that's just a rushing operator.
I
If I
agree.
could, I mean, I haven't really seen anyone actually play her. The only person I've kind of seen play her consist has been Leon. For I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Ronan use her too. Um, like I think it was a Talon who used her. I don't remember, but it was one of the players.
I know Fox was using a bit of her as well.
Oh yeah,
Again
yeah,
with
Fox
stun.
was using her too.
I think, yeah, I agree with what you say, Jane, because like in the meta right now, like there are different like standard operator sets, but like the one of the most common like 5 operators you'll see is like, Twitch, Ash, Thatcher, Thermite, Hibana, and out of that
Yeah.
lineup, it's kind of hard to replace somebody. You could replace like Thermite, I guess, but it depends entirely on the map and bomb site and all that, of course. And it's like you don't want to replace Ash because Ash is still better than Zofia. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
Twitch is really good, like you said, for the mirror meta. Thatcher for the trap meta, and Hibana just because Hibana's like one of the strongest operators in the game.
Ash is better than Zafia. Yes, I think that's true to some extent. Obviously, you've still got the speed advantage as well. But with obviously, yes, the R4C is getting nerfed damage wise. Is it coming down from about 41 to what, about 30?
39.
Yeah.
It's only 2 damage,
Yeah, it's
man.
2 damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to
It's
really
a
affect
laughable.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's a
gonna...
laughable nerf, man.
It feels like the first time they nerfed Ella. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that
But
is the
what was
first time they nerfed
first nerf
Ella,
to
though.
The first nerf to Ella was lost a concuss mine and increased recoil. The recoil was nothing. And
Yeah,
the
exactly.
I don't know about on PC, but on console, if you put a compensator on Ella's gun, the recoil is easier to control than before they nerfed her.
Yeah, no. Everyone puts compensator on Elo's gun just because you're not bursting with that gun. You're
Right.
you're spraying 50 bullets,
Right.
I mean, there might be some people out there that do it, but you're not going to pick Ella and go for tap fires and bursts. You've got 50 bullets,
Exactly.
you're going to spray, isn't it? That's how it is.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. Ella just kind of encourages like a really stupid playstyle. Like I understand why they wanted to only nerf it to 40 bullets. Like they don't want Ella to be the same as all the other operators because like Bandit Jaeger, you know, any roam you'll have Bandit Jaeger Vigil, Pulse, like all these operators have, you know, around 30 bullets. You want Ella to have something unique about her, and that's what they said. They want her to maintain her ability to fight multiple opponents at the same time. But it's like, it's just overpowered. Like it's just blatantly, she's just stronger than other operators in the game. It's I don't know.
I think the thing is that what Ubisoft try to compensate with is like because it has a fast fire rate, then that would mean that she loses bullets faster, right? So she would
Right.
need a higher capacity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like the SMG 11 has like really fast fire rate, but it has 17 bullets.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what Ubisoft was trying to think, but they obviously didn't think this through about Ela and
I don't
all
know.
that.
It
So
Ella really raises the question about, is it like, do they make operators purposefully overpowered just to sell season passes? Like I can't say if there's a definitive answer to that or not, because like just
So
because of how
if you
blatantly
were to say that, would you be saying it's kind of a pay to win system for that first free week?
yeah, but the thing is, like, in competitive play, it doesn't really matter. So, to me, like, sure, in ranked, you can use a really good operator for a week, but, like, I don't think it's game breaking. Like, if they made Ella exclusive to season pass holders, then it'd be, like, ridiculously pay to win, yeah, but I don't
well, the
think.
thing is that if they made Ela or if they made new DLC operators like specifically DLC only, then I mean that would result in DLC operators being taken out from ESL and all that stuff.
Right.
So obviously
Yeah,
they're not
it
trying to
would
do
be pay to
that.
win.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I
I
don't,
think the thing is that what they're trying to do is like they're trying to hype up the new operators and make them super OP at first. Like I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get more sales first
yeah.
before focusing on their competitive scene, you know? Like even though competitive scene is really big already, like it's somewhat big, it's growing, but the game in
Oh yeah,
general is just
well,
not as big.
you can tell it's growing by looking at the amount of big orgs that are coming into it. Like I don't know if you mentioned, obviously the other guy, Dylan, or Siege TV as he's more known as, he
Yeah.
even put a video up talking about the rooms. I think I even spoke to it before we started the show about the rumors of the big orgs coming into the game, such as FaZe picking up Fon and Liquid picking up Mopa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just hearing that alone, I mean, even the fact that Evil Genius has come into the game to pick up formerly CTM, that just shows the game has come a long way since it started.
Yeah, and then NIP Fallen wants to pick up a team. Like
Wow.
I mean, it's rumored.
Yeah.
NIP they're going to pick up a team soon, I'm pretty sure. They're
I
not going
mean,
to
yeah,
like
they've been
leave it
teasing it
alone.
for months.
They've
Like,
been teasing months, like about a month.
Well, about a
If
month.
I think
if
probably
they
more
don't-
than that. Probably like two.
I mean, somebody who was the EOS admin was it BK or Vets that went to go visit NIP's talent acquirer?
I don't know. Probably
Yeah,
BK because he lives in
somebody.
Europe.
Yeah. It was BK that went to go visit NIP, and they were talking about stuff. So it's that they were definitely talking about picking up a team and something about like advertisement
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
It'll
I'm
be
pretty
it'll be
sure.
before Invitational for sure.
I don't
Like,
think it's
I,
gonna be before
okay, I
invitation.
don't know if it's
really?
heard, but
Yeah, I
I don't know
mean
if you
it's
guys
in
heard,
one
but
month. Who are they gonna pick up?
I don't know.
Zig,
Like,
right?
yeah, Zika.
Yeah, so Zig apparently made an announcement. He said there's going to be a very big announcement coming on one of his streams. They're going to like announce it live, like as a team and stuff. And everyone's saying, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be Liquid picking them up. It's going to be Liquid, which at the same time I hope it is, because like it gives them a game, obviously a bigger role coming in again. It gives the game more coverage, and the game's going to get more popular and grow again some more, which is good for the
Exactly.
game.
Yeah,
But
the bigger the org that comes in, the more fans that come and follow the Siege community.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
and
you're
also
right.
it means more people buy the game, and we can dick on them in casual.
I think the difference, the main, like, to go back to a previous point, the main difference between pay to win and the system that Ubisoft have now is, I think, rather than that they want like a pay to win system or like pay to have an advantage,
Yeah.
I think it's more that they're just interested in selling season passes just to make money, and then like you said, JNhan, like, because people will see Ella and then be like, okay, I'll just buy the season pass, you know, like the same type of people who will buy like tons of loot crates to get a good gun.
exactly.
and at
One
the
thing that
same time, it's not like pay to win because I don't know. I feel like inherently there's something different about a system that's pay to win because either it has to be locked behind a paywall or be ridiculously difficult to obtain something that you can also pay for, like in a system like in COD where you have the loot crates where you can earn the loot crates and then get a good gun from that, or you could just buy like a bunch of loot crates and then get a good gun from that. Like it's ridiculously unlikely to get it
Well,
just from
the good thing
playing.
is, at least they haven't put guns in alpha packs. Let's put it that way. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's
what
what I'm
they put
saying.
nothing in alpha packs is going to affect your gameplay, which is brilliant. I mean, all it is what charms. You know, it's just charms, camos, this, that, chibi. It's nothing that's going to affect how your actual gameplay is. And
Yeah.
one thing that I actually do want to touch about is have you played much of the TTS yet, Nan?
Yeah, I have.
I mean, what are your thoughts on played much of Ella? Think like it's a good nerf, it's not
I
enough, or
played Ela. She's still the same. In my opinion, you still get Ela mined. It messes with your screen a whole bunch. I mean, they nerfed the movement, right? Something
Yeah.
about
nerf
that.
the concuss amount.
You can
didn't they?
sprint now, right? You can
Yeah,
sprint
I
when you're
mean,
concussed.
honestly, it doesn't really matter because you still turn slow, right?
That was the biggest issue is the sensitivity change, not necessarily the sprinting. I do welcome the sprinting change, but yeah, the sensitivity, in my opinion, is a bigger issue.
Because like what use is running or being able to sprint when you get Elamine when you can't turn around, right?
Yeah,
You
like
still
the only
gotta
thing
you
you're
still
gonna
gotta
do is
throw your
sprint
mouse across
further
the
into
room.
the building.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna sprint further into the building, closer to where an Ella is gonna be lurking about, ready to peek.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the issue is like the mines just remove all the fundamental things that make this game competitive. Like it removes your, vision, your hearing, your movement and your yeah, like you can't sprint and you can't like look around. And it's like if it removed your ability to sprint and it like added a soft screen filter and like nerfed your hearing a bit, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But like you literally cannot hear anything. You can hardly see anything. You can't move at all. Like you can hardly aim at anything. It's just like ridiculous how it just makes it so you're at such a massive disadvantage that it doesn't even matter. Her gun doesn't even matter anymore at that point because like any gun in the game is going to win against somebody who doesn't have any fundamental ability to win a gunfight.
I
Like
mean, personally, I haven't had a lot of Ela problems just because it's very, I would say it's very easy to predict uh where they're at and where they're
yeah,
gonna peak from. So I usually just end up free firing or lying down right after I get Ela charged.
yeah.
One thing that I do like about the Ela thing is that instead of 7 seconds, it's 4 seconds now.
Right. That's a big deal.
So that's a big deal, and I feel like 7 seconds was a bit too much, because like that gives them a full 7 seconds just to like lie down and waste time,
Right.
and that's
Obviously,
just
us
sucks.
two being console new, we haven't experienced the TTS changes. But one thing that I do really like, and I know there's a lot of people out there that have been complaining about it. Personally, I think it's a brilliant move, and I think it's completely fair. Is the Twitch drone shocks getting reduced from 15 to 5? Because now, instead of the little and copper going around tasing this, that, and every other person being annoying, the Twitch drone you kind of have to be more like careful, if you know what I mean. You've only got a select amount of tases, and you've got to decide if you're getting like mirrors, ADSs, shock wires, mute jammers, stuff.
Yeah, I agree with the Twitch change personally, but I think 5 is a little too little. I think a good number would be
Saying
around like
7.
7 or 8, because like I mean, sure, you're not gonna shock someone to death, but you're just gonna be you're gonna still need that extra like extra 3 or 4 to
I
grab
think
other
if
things.
people are going to be arseholes now with the new Twitch, I think we may see a rise in the amount of mutes, just because it's going to be. I mean, because then they've got to make a decision: take out the mute jammer to get past, and then obviously they won't have enough that many shocks to get utilities on site and stuff. So I think it will see a rise in the amount of mute that is played. Because I think mute's play is always on the rise.
Well, I
actually
think
mute
I
is a
think
brilliant
what the new changes are gonna bring about like you have to bring I think people are gonna start playing like Twitch, a combination of Twitch and Thatcher now,
Yeah.
just because Just because to take out the ADSs behind walls and all that stuff around the doors for with a Thatcher, and then like Twitch to take out the mirrors and stuff like that. I mean, I guess it's still in the meta already, but you're just gonna see more of that.
I know it's a minor as well, but personally, I like it because I play them a lot. You got Legion's trap cooldown. Have you noticed that at all? It's gone down from 35 seconds recall to 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Legion
Sometimes
it takes too long, dude.
I don't know. I don't like the only changes I'm not too big of a fan of, which obviously isn't like a wide affecting change, but I think it'll. Well, it's not like a massive change, but I think it'll affect the meta in a meaningful way. Is Bandit losing that one barbed wire? I think it's just going to make for less barbed wire play overall. I think players are going to try and start relying on other things to slow down pushes rather than barbed wire.
Like Pulse. Obviously, Pulse, it's natural that you take C4. You're going to use the C4 with Pulse more than you will a barbed wire.
Yeah.
But and then you come across Capcan, who also has Nitro and Barbed. One of my biggest dilemmas is I never know what to play with Capcan because the barbed wire does help, slows down attackers. You can hear where they're pushing from.
Yeah.
But the Nitro cell is so lethal that especially me, I'm actually a brilliant player with the Nitro cell. I know how to use it. I'm guaranteed to get at least one kill a round if I pick a Nitro cell operator. It's like when I play Capcan, and now that it's happening to Bandit as well, I'll be stuck in the same dilemma. Do I play barbed wire or do I play Nitro?
I think the thing about Bandit is or since they nerfed the actual usefulness of barbed wire previously, we've been seeing Bandit C4 play in competitive in the last seasons, and I think I don't know. I just don't like it because barbed wire now is more useful for hearing where the enemies are coming from than slowing down attacks, which is of course another utility of them. But I think I preferred the meta where you need to clear out barbed wire before you can push in. Now, barbed wire doesn't really affect that much of a...
Yeah. I don't see why barbed wire got nerfed. I mean, now, especially because you also go through it quicker, so a lot of the time, you can just run through and win your gunfights.
Right.
I think the barbed wire nerf was probably the greatest thing that happened in Siege, in my opinion.
Really?
Not gonna lie. Yeah, but before Ela, I think because barbed wire was just super OP before, it
was really strong.
It was really strong because you'd have to hit it 3 times. If you walk through it, it takes about 4 or 5 seconds to get through the barbed wire.
Right.
Yeah,
but it would make the meta. Yeah, it would make meta really slow, and that's why it was a big major it was a necessity in order to get a sledge, just to clear out the barbed wire and grenades and stuff like that. But now that now that barbed wire is nerfed, you can see a lot of fast plays. You can see the exception of sledge and take buck instead. Sure you still have grenades, but it's easier to kill barb.
You wouldn't see many people just charge on through barbed wire. Whereas now, I mean, I can't really think of an exact moment where it has happened, but it probably has happened somewhere. You'll see an Ash or something, they'll just punch the barbed wire twice, run straight on through and get a kill, and then obviously get traded off.
I know, and that's the thing. Good teams wouldn't be able to pull that through, or good teams wouldn't be able to let that slide. But but that makes the game much more exciting, just for fast plays and stuff like that. When people do make do or die plays, running through, for example, Stewie 2K, for CS:GO example, he would make a fast play by throwing a flash through a smoke and just push through and just get insane 3 or 4Ks and stuff like that. And that's I think it's similar as to Ash hitting barbed wire or whoever's rushing through the barbed wire and just making a play just straight off individual.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice.
The only thing we haven't touched on really operator wise in the patch now is probably actually one of my favorites alongside the Twitch thing is actually the Para getting a damage buff from 43 up to 48.
Have you played any Capitao in the TTS? No.
I haven't touched Capitao, no, but I was a Capitao main before the nerf.
I mean, well,
year 1
I
season
play a lot
3.
of Capitao when I can, because I think, well, I know there was a lot of complaint when he. I mean, I know they've actually buffed the gun quite a lot recently. Because when he first came out, the recoil was horrible and the damage was pretty weak.
No, the damage when he first came out, the damage was really high.
The damage was high and the rate of fire was actually fast. So he was a very strong operator, and plus you
he
can
got
ignore
nerfed, didn't he?
ADSs and stuff. Yeah, he got nerfed.
Yeah,
So
and then obviously now that they've realised they've nerfed him too much, so they're kind of buffing.
yeah, because you don't see Capital being played anymore except for like
Origin. You will on an
situational
Origin
things.
maybe to get a mirror out of Cubby.
The
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
about Capitao is I like having him stronger so that he's in the meta more. Like if Capitao was like top 10 operators picked in Pro League, like I'd be happy with that because he requires like skill and coordination in a way that not many other operators do, like in a way that Ying does as well, which I mean Ying also has a similar role to Capitao in the meta right now. So I think like being able to hit those tiny like little angles with your firebolt or timing it with your team so that you get the plant down at the same time as the smokes and all that. I think I don't know. I prefer the way the meta plays out with Capitao being as strong as he used to be. Although like obviously he was a bit overboard, but I think the buff right now will help him a bit. And I kind of just wish they gave him like breach charges or some sort of breaching ability so that he could like I don't know. Claymores and flashbangs isn't great for such a aggressive operator.
I'll tell you what is
I
brilliant.
don't think Capital is an aggressive operator. I think he's
No.
more of a support operator in my
I've just
opinion,
read
just
through
because.
the map patch notes, and they still haven't fixed a certain glitch on Clubhouse.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I
What
don't
glitch?
know if it exists on PC and PlayStation, but I know it exists on Xbox because I've done it in a casual. If as an attacker, when you're in armory, you go to the corner where the door is, punch it, reload. You can rappel inside the building and fly.
That I've not heard about that.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
never really
god.
did that.
We were
That's
in a
interesting.
custom game messing around when we discovered it, and we were wetting ourselves because literally you can rappel up and down in thin air, and when you go upside down, all you see is your head poking through the ceiling.
That's interesting.
It's like if this ever gets round to Ubisoft, fix this, please. It's
Yeah.
not nice. We even said we're going to try and get it in a ranked game ourselves.
That's
Just to prove
interesting.
it.
Yeah.
Like, you know the doorway that leads up to the hallway, yeah? Inside Armory.
Yeah.
Like the
They-
one right next to the church door.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you go into the corner there, right? You kind of
Oh,
like you
okay.
shoot a couple of bullets to reload. You punch it, reload, and then quickly hold rappel down. And yeah, all of a sudden you then start rappelling like upside down within the site.
That's interesting. Is it like can it be abused though? Like are you an easy target when you're there?
If you rappel upside down, all you see is like your head.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're kind of visible. So you're just flying in the middle of nowhere. So I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's just something that's stupid and needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just really hope that whenever the new season comes out, like after invitationals, obviously they aren't going to be adding the same like amount of stuff that they normally do because of the whole Operation Outbreak thing. But I just hope that they don't break the game as much. Sorry, what?
They are remaking a certain map.
That's in season 3.
Apparently Canadian knows what it is.
That's interesting.
Oh,
I hope it's Hereford.
Wait, remaking it? You mean the
redesign?
Yeah. You don't mean for Operation Outbreak, do you?
I heard the rumors that I hear the most that are strong, and I agree that it does need a redesign. Is apparently Cathay, because
Really?
I like Cathay. Right? Don't get me yeah. I mean, personally, I'm one of the players I actually like, enjoy it, but it's a lot of It's very simple. Like, you take top floor, you push it out, you down, you work from there. You take them on again, and it's just the same thing over and over again, and it does get repetitive.
I thought they said that they were reworking a map that wasn't in the competitive map pool though. Like I thought they were talking about like Yacht or Favela or something.
I hope it's Hereford, dude. I
Yeah.
miss
Yeah, I
Hereford.
think Hereford's another one that's been rumored for a redesign.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to
I like
see.
Hereford competitively. Hereford
Are
competitively
you
is good.
Are you heading to the Invitational, Nan? Have you got tickets or anything, or nah, too poor?
Nah, too poor, dude.
You live in
Too
America,
poor.
right? Like
Yeah,
the US, yeah.
Cali.
Yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
at least it's a bit closer for you than us.
Well, yeah. I actually
Amazing
looked into it one day, like for me, just like plane tickets and.
Didn't you just come back from Montreal?
No, well, I wasn't in Montreal, but yeah, from Canada. But just like plane tickets and like a hotel and the tickets themselves at the Invitational would be like ridiculously much. And also, most of the hotels might I would imagine are probably going to be like filled up around that time just because of obviously the Invitational. So
Have you seen the schedule? Because the Invitational will run for 6 days, obviously with an audience.
Right.
So day one, which will be Tuesday the 13th, you'll have Group 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll have AVB, CVD, and all of them.
Right.
And then and then on the Wednesday, the winners of both of their matches will play, and the losers of both their matches will play. The winners go through to the quarterfinals. The losers go into the final spot match against the losers of the winners match. And obviously, the winner of those final spot matches.
Basically, a double elimination bracket.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a double elimination in the group stage.
That's interesting. Like I don't know. I'm excited for the Invitational because
I wish they did double elimination for actual Pro League as well.
Yeah, and then with the actual main event now, you'll have the opening ceremony.
Or the qualifier too.
The quarterfinal 1, the first panel, quarterfinal 2, a second panel, quarterfinal 3, another panel, then the last quarterfinal, and then you have the wrap up. Saturday is a semi-final, panel 4, semi-final 2, the new operators panel, the third place match, and then they wrap up. And the last day, it's the year 3 panel, which I'm really looking forward to.
Right.
The All-Stars match, which no idea who'll be in that this year. You know, let's get JNhan in the All-Stars match, why not?
Right.
And then
yeah. I'm pretty sure
then it's the Outbreak panel and a live demo of that, followed by the grand final trophy ceremony, and that's it.
Yeah. The grand final is best of 5 too, which I was excited for, but like after all the all the invitational qualifiers themselves are already best of 5, it's not going to be as special. But I mean, obviously it's a good thing, but I was kind of hoping that it would be like the only best of 5.
I mean, fair play to Ubisoft. They are putting on a 6-day event. It's gonna be something spectacular.
Yeah. The thing I noticed is last year, I mean, obviously there were 4 teams that qualified, 2 EU and 2 NA, and then they would play the semifinals and then the finals. And then at Invitational, there were 8 teams, and they did from the quarterfinals, and that's how all of this year of Pro League has been. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe next year of Pro League, every season will have the same format as this year's Invitational. That would be...
I've just seen the prize pool, though.
It's like 270,000, right? Or 500,000.
$500 million.
But that's split between all 16 teams. So
yeah,
obviously, like there'll still be like probably like a bit more than half of it will probably go to the winning team, or like 250,000 for the winning team wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty big for Siege. Obviously, it's the biggest one ever. But yeah, so
I'm really excited for the new operators. Hopefully, it won't break the game though.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know.
One thing I am looking forward to, and I really hope they are nice because I hate them. I want some new seasonal weapon skins. I really don't like these season.
Yeah, the seasonal weapon skins are nice.
I loved last season's. I had it's like Red Mist and White Dragon. Those were brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been stepping up their designing game lately, which is pretty interesting.
I've noticed, with all the new bundles, like the Apocalypse bundles and the the old timey ones for like Pulse and Blackbeard and that. I don't remember all the operators, but
I like it how they've been pumping out like elite skins too and all that.
Did you see Bosco with the good old Blackbeard top hat? DMR.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fun. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like that they're doing all the new skins and all that. So
Bosco's a beast. Can we just acknowledge that for a second? Can we nerf
Bosco is a monster.
Yeah.
Hello, boys.
Walks through and he.
I don't know if you heard what he did in the final, right? But Bosco against Reckless, right? 11 kills on Cafe, 13 on Border, 9 on Oregon, and then 9 on the last map.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard Bosco went off.
Blackbeard DMR, and he was literally farming them.
But I don't know. I think I'm excited for the invitationals. I'm curious how many of the spots are decided by now. Do you guys have like an updated?
Yes, I should know. I'm going to go off the top of my head here. So, attending the Invitational, we will have Penta, Elevate, Ents, Evil Geniuses, I'm, Black Dragon, Rune Factory, Error, Supremacy, what they call Lanchonette. And then there's obviously the community vote and the 4 wild cards / invites. And the invite, obviously being 4 invites, you just assume it'll be 1 invite per region.
I don't think it will be. Like, I think that invites are more, from what I've heard, it's more just what teams Ubisoft want there. Like, if a
I
team
feel
doesn't
like it's
make
gonna
it,
be
right.
I mean, we all heard about the rumor about like how Rogue they didn't play on stream and they lost purposely just because
Yeah.
they knew that they would get invited, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think that's the thing. I think it's just one of them was just not performing as well. And I mean, the Challenger League teams were just performing out of their minds
I know
this
for a fact,
qualifier.
right, I think we can all agree on this. If Supremacy had lost, 100% a French team would be invited. You can't have LAN without the Frenchies.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Was if Supremacy loses, Millennium will either Millennium or Supremacy will 100% get a wild
Or even
card.
Vitality, I reckon.
Yeah, Vitality
the
maybe,
first
but the problem with Vitality is like they're a good like name. They've been around in Siege for a long time, but they're not as good as they used to be.
Well,
Like,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if this is true or not. But B Genius actually disbanded after losing to Patacalypsa.
Yeah, they did. 2 of them, I think, retired or something like that, right?
I think it was
Oh.
Crisco retired and someone else.
well, Crisco is an old Xbox player, so maybe
Yes,
like
but, yeah, Crisco played with Vitality.
right.
And Crisco left Vitality to join B Genius, and then I heard that they disbanded after failing to make the invitation.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm curious about the community vote. I think
I
it
think
might be a
that might be a French team. I think.
I don't know. It's kind of a toss up because the thing is there's a lot of very you know,
Oh, here we go. About B
engaged.
Genius. I've just found the link.
Right.
Two players, Rainbow Six leave the shit. Following the heavy failure of our team during the qualifiers at the Six Invitational, our 6 players had to face choices. Indeed, after a few months under the colours of the Genius, Christopher Crisco, however you pronounce his surname, wished to withdraw from the team. We thank him very much for allowing our team to win a 2nd place at the 6th Cup PGW, and especially for being part of B Genius. Blah blah blah. So yeah, it was Crisco, and he's thanking him. And the other one is Raw XD. He returned because he was playing alongside Shaiko. He returned, and he's now left. So their lineup at the moment is China is number 1, which is formerly T-Pex, Mas2, and Sneaky.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise. I mean, like, yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't like disband.
I know Ares also disbanded as well because that's why they've got the whole Go Pro with Ares thing. So, and if isn't not the team, but Ares, he got dropped from Millennium. Is he available? Because if he is, I think he might go B Genius. You know.
I don't know. Like, it's not really that relevant right now since the invitationals haven't been finished yet. Like,
and B Genius aren't exactly in Pro League, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, they got dropped from Pro League.
Yeah,
and
Aheres is a free agent, and with spaces there open, I reckon Aheres will turn up at B Genius.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of want your opinion, JNhan, on what do you think? What are your predictions for Invitational? I mean, obviously, everybody is expecting a lot from Penta because of Shate.
Yes. So what is the team your eyes will be on?
Yeah.
The team my eyes will be on, huh? Oof.
Do you think there will be any surprises?
If you had to pick one standout team above the rest.
Ooh.
Because
hang on. News here. Font. They've left Font.
Yeah.
Right now.
I've heard that. Well, I saw it.
Like just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was announced.
Dylan's just popped up.
It was announced like an hour ago. So.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna get picked up by FaZe, right? So.
Yeah, they've got to go FaZe now. They've just left Font. Everything's on the. If they don't, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mav.
Hmm? What'd you say?
Who made the announcement? Was it like Mav Moringa?
Oh, I don't know. I saw that it was I saw it on Twitter, but I don't know who
I haven't
actually
seen it.
posted it. But they haven't said anything about who they're joining. I don't know. Like it'll probably just be FaZe. It's not really that.
Yeah, I reckon it would be FaZe. I mean, all signs point to it being FaZe.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It'll be out by the time this podcast is out, regardless. So it's not really that relevant. Like, yeah. So for anybody wondering when we were recording right as FaZe Font got dropped or left.
Yeah, we started recording the moment Font left their organization.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, Entero's just put something up 3 minutes ago. Team Font just left their org.
Right.
And everyone's just going, FaZe is coming, FaZe confirmed, FaZe time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure they're the wild card because like they're gonna be invited. Like just we all know that, man.
Font will be. That's why I think. Well, they didn't purposely lose, but I think they knew they'd get invited.
I mean, they had negotiations already,
Okay,
so I'm pretty sure it was a plan.
If you had to say right now, what do you reckon the 4 teams that will get invited are, and who's going to win the community vote right now?
Rogue, Mopa, FaZe, and then I
It's
think
got to be an EU team.
definitely probably Vitality.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
either Vitality or probably Millennium.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say my prediction for the invites: Rogue, FaZe, Millennium. I'm gonna say Mopa, but with the community vote, there's a part of me that really wants to say Flipside, just because I love Flipside.
I feel like there's a possibility that it's Flipside, but more likely it'll be a Brazilian or French team.
It's gonna be a Brazilian or a French team for sure.
Yeah.
Because like everybody, yeah, they have a very large like viewer base. Like in terms of like NA is like laughable in terms of like the amount of people who play this game. You know, but like I mean Brazil and French people, EU in general, like they're so big in Siege now. Like they're just so focused on that, and I just think, I just think it's one of the BR French teams for sure.
I agree. There's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of signs pointing towards the community vote going towards a Brazilian team, but I don't know. Like it depends on who qualifies. Obviously, I don't think there will be an APAC team that gets invited with a wild card, but I mean it's a possibility. I guess I would be surprised if there was though. Like you said, there could be one from each region.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's gonna be one from the APAC region, just because they're just nobody's interested in APAC.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds horrible the way we say that, but it's true. Nobody's is really that interested with the APAC region aside from the APAC players themselves.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the wild cards, rather than being the teams that deserve to go to the Invitational, I think the wild cards are more just tools for Ubisoft and ESL to be able to grow the competitive scene. So if, for example, this is just out of the blue, but if IDK get picked up by Ninjas in Pajamas, then I think, like without a doubt in my mind, I think Ubisoft would give them a wild card just because that helps Ubisoft because of a big org, right?
I love I don't know because they're so unique with some of their strats. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Isn't IDK like rumored to get picked up by Fallen?
I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
But it's also rumored heavily with NIP.
Yeah, I think it's because they have Swedish players on their team, or they used to at least. I don't know about their roster right now.
Well, they still have They still got Renewals and Secretly, who are both Swedish.
Right. So that's why people are saying that because NIP is Swedish.
Well, thing is, I think there's now a less chance now that Snooken's left because Snooken was also Swedish. So whereas before their team was can't get my words out. Their team was more Swedish than it was British, whereas now Snooken got dropped and left, and Leon.
Yeah.
now primarily British, so I think there's now a decreased chance of Ninjas in Pajamas picking them up.
Yeah. I think if there are any big orgs like Rogue, for example, who don't qualify themselves, I think they're going to get the wild card. So for the Brazilian teams, if any big orgs pick them up and they're not qualified, they're going to get wild cards. If Ninjas in Pajamas pick up a European team, they're going to get the wild card. And then beyond that, yeah, I think like you don't need a French team anymore, but I think well, because of supremacy, but I think I don't know, might get the wild card. Another contender is, like you said, Millennium, possibly Vitality. Vitality more for the symbolic gesture, like the just because they've been such a big org in Siege for such a long time.
What's going on with the APAC LAN right now? 'Cause that's like, well,
What's going on right
me
now?
and JNhan were talking previously. Me and JNhan both want Cryptic to win that.
Yeah, Cryptic, dude. Those are my
We
boys.
want Cryptic. I actually think Cryptic are not a bad side. They're all right. I want to see Cryptic come.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Mantis again. We've seen Mantis at that, and like, no disrespect to them. And I wouldn't mind seeing Mind Freak. I either want to see Mind Freak or Cryptic.
I honestly don't know enough about any of the teams to have any wishes.
Nora Rengu are already out, so I want either one of those two to come. I want either Mind Freak or Team Cryptic.
Yeah, I can see that. I'd be
like I said, it also does break my heart that we're not seeing Flipside at LAN. Like Flipside at LAN, it's just something special. Like
I think Flipside's kind of unstable. There's been talk about how there's a player on that team that hasn't performing as well or can't play back to his prime. You know, he's kind of like falling off the edge. And then there's just another player that's just kind of like being held back. So.
Yeah. I don't know if there's as much of, or I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I also heard that they had issues with like team chemistry and like toxicity and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, but
in my opinion, what it looks like to me is that with Flips, when they play Pro League, they seem like they are playing for fun. They're not going to win. They're not really trying. They don't want to win. They're just kind of there to have fun, you know, and all kind of just relax and play the game. But,
well, the thing is, the flip side do their best when they're having fun, because I haven't personally heard their comms.
Sport, you're always better when you're focused, relaxed. If you get angry and agitated, then like it's going to put you off your game more. So like, if anything, it's the best way to play is to be relaxed, calm, and have a bit of fun while you're playing, which is why they do the best when they play like that.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think like hype, like building hype and being excited about it as a team and everybody wanting it also helps with performance. I don't know like if there's I don't know what the comparison is compared to like just being relaxed and having fun, but I think like when you're super hyped and stuff like that, obviously you have like a lot more adrenaline and like you're really on edge. So I think it might help with like reaction time and your like fine motor skills in terms of like aiming and stuff like that. So I feel like I don't know, like I don't really know what the I don't know what point I'm trying to make here, but I think like Flipside trying to stay like have fun and stay relaxed while they're playing.
So well, I've been on both short of the sticks, or I've been on both end of the sticks. Like I've been in a team where like the atmosphere is very tense. I've been on a team that's been like, or the atmosphere is very lax. You know what I'm saying? Like those, I can just say that Flipside, I haven't personally heard their comms, but I mean, if you say there's something toxic in the atmosphere, then that's definitely why. You know, they've been underperforming, especially specifically Pojo. He hasn't been performing the best, at least. So I don't know what's up with that, but. And then apparently I heard somebody's ego was like inflated or something like that, and then and then that led to his downfall, you know?
That's what I've heard too, so there might be truth to it.
I think, obviously, like we said, it's just rumours, what we're talking about here, so we don't know if it's true or not. But if I was to guess, out of all of them, who's getting big-headed,
I don't know. I think Matt, Hotan's a good guy. He's not too big-headed. I think it's Mint.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really think it matters too much, but I think there might be. Uh, I think they might need to like work on some stuff because they're too
Yeah,
inconsistent at the moment.
I think they need to take a step back, have a
Yeah.
look where they're at, and just evaluate things from there.
Because the thing is with the wild cards, like you can be wanting teams there. Like a lot of people want Reckless to be there and Flipside and things like that because they like the teams. But the thing is, if Ubisoft are inviting teams that aren't good enough to compete at Invitational, then they're just like inviting teams that are going to get first rounded. And like, sure, it's
Also,
fun to go to LAN and like it's still a good experience.
If we're
But
going to invite teams that are going to do well, based off of that, my assumptions would be Mopa straight away.
yeah,
Mopa.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're going to do teams that do well, okay. Mopa, BRK, FaZe. Yeah, I know they're 3 Brazilian teams, but they're good, so get over it.
well,
well, who else?
I mean, there are
No,
just so many good teams, you know. Like it's hard. It's hard, but I think the Invitational is the point of the Invitational is to advertise Siege,
right,
and you know they have a big prize pool in order to lure people in. You know, it's
I
just like
agree.
how CS:GO first started. You know, they were like at first they were like, oh my god, 100 grand, dude. Like, wow, that's insane. And then it went up to 150. It went up to 250. It went to 500. It went to 1 million. Um, like that. I think that's initially what Siege and Ubisoft want to do to grab a viewer base, a bigger viewer base, a bigger player base. Um,
I
I
mean,
mean, that's what the invitation was all about.
have you, as a player, have you attended any or many LANs?
No, because of school and stuff like that, so I haven't been able to.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
I think playing at LAN, it's completely different to playing online. Obviously, I mean that's why they've now had to add in the Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, I'm going a bit off topic here, but I've just seen they oh, they're gonna make that real. You know how Ubisoft or Rainbow, they put up the 6 invitational golden ticket contest. We have to make an operator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen the guy that won it and his character and stuff?
I didn't
it's a
read
she.
through it. Yeah, it's a she.
Let me read. Matara, 3 armor, 1 speed. Yeah, name Mai Omahura. And there's the bio gadget.
It's like a blow dart.
Yeah, like a traditional blow dart, but the dart should be more futuristic as it adopts up-to-date technology. Lightwood in the end. See, I don't think a blow dart would be very good in this game.
Ubisoft already said that the character won't be implemented into the game. Like even if it was like a great idea or whatever, they said that like it wouldn't be used in the game. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but
should we So let's talk about some NA rosters here. I think. So let's look at Elevate. What are Elevate going to bring to the invitation aside from
Oh,
Sky's?
dude. Geo. That's all I'm gonna say. Geo.
They're just going to be dragging Geo along with him.
Nah, dude. Geo is the mastermind, dude. Like, what Geo can bring is he can bring, like, he's a really good mid-round IGL, like, because Geo, what he does is he usually commits to his strat. For example, Skies can call the initial strat, you know, like, take this, take that at the beginning of the round. But then Geo's the man who makes the plays, in my opinion, because he's like, oh, yo, come and trade me, or he's a very solid fragger as well. So he'd be able to bring a lot to the table for Elevate. I mean, you weren't able to see that with Chap on Elevate. I mean, Chap did decently. Sure, he got a couple good rounds with Valkyrie. You know, on Cafe, he got that 2K, 3K on that last round or whatever. But I think, yeah, I mean, Geo overall is a nutty smoke, dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Elevate bring. Like, they're definitely one of the top teams to be looking out for. Like something that a lot of people are expecting a lot from.
They're a top team. I think they're kind of the underdog of the top team.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Everyone is expecting Evil Geniuses or Penta again, as they did at the previous LAN. And
well, the thing is that everybody doesn't expect Elevate to do well just because you know their pro league season they didn't do too hot, you know. But then like now that they have Geo on the team and stuff like that, and they're a really good LAN team. You don't
They
expect them to do
lost
very
both
well.
times. Most wanted, didn't they? The only thing they beat was WBG.
Exactly, but they're a very good LAN team, so
Yeah,
I'm
I think
expecting them
they're.
to show up.
But both of those games against Most Wanted were really close.
Yeah.
I think they were really close games that anybody could have won, and yeah, Elevate just unluckily came out on the wrong end of it. That's all. But at the same time, they kind of already knew they were going to the
Invitational.
So they
Yeah.
might not have actually wanted to go to the other LAN as well. So, you know.
Well, the
Well,
thing is that the thing is that I can tell you right now, Elevate never practiced, so
Yeah.
because they were like I don't know, for some reason Laxing never practiced or never wanted to practice, so they just ended up not practicing at all. Like I didn't remember the last time they scrimmed. I know Gio is very upset about that, but they've been on the scrim. They've been they started like scrimming just like recently, like 2 days ago or 3 days ago or something like that. Like they took a long break from scrimming. So
Okay, I think we should. I think we've gone for about an hour. We've gone past the hour mark now, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like.
Let's get some more things and we'll wrap this up. Let's get a few more
Yeah.
things down.
I was just gonna mention like. I think like you were saying that Elevate's one of the like teams that people are expecting stuff out of, but they're on like the lower tier. I think like the 4 top teams right now are like EG, Elevate, Penta, and ENCE, of course, since they won the previous LAN.
Well, I spoke to Panari a little bit this morning. Right? Panari was on his usual he does. So I went in and I was like, yeah, how's things going with you? Sounds a bit weird, yeah. And he said, yeah, it's actually going brilliant. He thinks fits in the team really well. The chemistry's going brilliant, and he's actually a solid player. So that will actually be the deciding factor of how well they do at LAN.
I don't think the issue is going to be a lack of. Sorry.
They've gone out there and they've won a LAN event. They've got that confidence of actually playing well at LAN. Like the curse is finally over. It's a case of now. Has got LAN experience? I don't actually know him that well. So has he had experience in this? Can he perform at LAN? It all relies, in my opinion, on because we know the rest. I mean, we saw that at the last LAN. Because the reason ENCE performed well is because it wasn't the Shate show. Everyone turned up. Boom.
It was because Cancer Raketti. I don't know. What I saw from the LAN was Cancer Raketti and it was Shate. There's those two that popped up.
If you look at the final, actually look at the stats in the final. Shate was like -15 kill death in the final against Black Dragon.
Yeah, Shate had like a 0.37 KD in the finals.
Yeah, that's what let Kanto flourish. Because I mean, I think Black Dragon knew Shate is probably one of the best players out there. During the finals, Shate was the best player in the game. Up there with Kanto, and they thought shut down Shate. So they shut down Shate. That's what they did, and it just made Kanto flourish even more, in my opinion. But also, I think we go back to the game against EG on Oregon. Yes, I know it was a throw by EG. I've even spoken to the team about this. They know it was horrendous. They don't like talking about it. But the fact is, like Panari on Border was brilliant. Boonsey on Oregon playing out of his mind. Wilkie just was brilliant over all the game.
I think
everyone stepped up and pulled their own weight.
For me, there was a clear moment where I realized that ENCE were gonna win because they got their footing back on at LAN, and it didn't seem like much, but there was a moment in ENCE versus EG where Wilkie jumped out on Young. Young was repelling kids' windows, and Wilkie jumped out a small tower, and he potatoed half a mag and got killed. And then later on in the match versus Black Dragons, I think in the finals, Wilkie jumps out on the exact same jump out and just instantly nails the headshot on the exact same situation. And that was when I realized they have their that's just a clear showing of what the difference is with and without the confidence of playing on LAN. And that was when I realized that they were gonna win.
If you walk into LAN head down, you're not going to do well, then you're not going to succeed. You've got to come into LAN and think, yes, we can do this, we can win, we can actually play against these, we can take it. Then you're going to have a lot higher chance of actually winning.
I think they were motivated to win. I don't think that was the issue, but I think it's just I don't know. I think they just have issues on LAN, and after the match against EG, I think it helped them.
Because I watched all the games live. I stayed up to like stupid o'clock in the morning to watch them. The moment I knew, I was like, yes, Ents are gonna win. Was the 5-0 against Font? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I say that the first 4 rounds they just decimated Font. The last round, Font should have won it. Like the way Kanto, I don't know if you remember, but Kanto walked into bathroom on Consulate, got the Ella mine, and somehow still got the kill while he was concussed. It was one
Yeah, I
of those
remember
kills
that.
where
I remember
He
that.
should never have got it. I mean, even in Terror, I think in Terror's words exactly were like, "How does Kanto walk away with that?"
Yeah, I
It was
remember.
one of those kills which he should never, in a million years, win, and he won it. Which is what I mean. As soon as that 5-0 happened, I was like, "Yeah, they're going to see this out. They're going to beat Penta or beat Black BD in the final."
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it pans out at LAN. Obviously, they don't have Shate. I don't think they need him to win, but I don't think Ents are going to win. I don't necessarily think Penta are going to win either, because I think they kind of ran out of juice. I don't think they're a bad team. I don't think they're incapable of winning, but just I
don't
think
so.
something.
I think Pensa's gonna come back stronger than ever, in my opinion.
You can't
Yeah.
say they're a bad team when Pengu holds the record for most kills in a single.
Well,
round.
I didn't say that. I just said I don't think they're going to win. I think something
Yeah.
similar is going to happen where they don't play like themselves. Because that's what I think caused them the loss against Black Dragons, was they weren't playing like themselves, and it just like they were just playing like a worse Penta, and I think it caused them to lose.
Okay, I think, right, before we wrap this up, we should all answer this one question, quick as we can, no detailed explanation. Who's winning the Invitational? Ghost.
I don't know. It'll either be Penta or Elevate, in my opinion.
JNhan?
That's
It kind of hard. It's
thing,
kind of
yeah.
hard since we don't know who's going to be there exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
It'll
But
depend
I would have to say probably I think Supremacy's gonna pull it out, dude.
Really?
Ooh, he's
Ooh.
back in supremacy.
Yeah, that's a bold that's
I
a
think,
choice.
Yeah, I would
I
say
think mine's a little bit bold. Not as much audacity behind it, because I mean, it also depends if they go. But if they do go, phase. I'm saying phase.
Phase,
That's a
huh?
possibility.
It's about time the title goes to Brazil. They deserve it
Yeah.
just as much as everyone else. Phase
You're
for
right.
the invitation.
I agree. I think I think a Brazilian team could definitely win. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, no, I agree. But
Brazil is gonna want it real badly.
Thank you very much for coming, JNhan.
yeah,
No problem, dudes.
regardless, that's we're a bit over the time, but regardless, like we'll be back probably in a week or so. I guess I'll find out whenever I upload this, but we'll
Yeah.
hopefully have this as a weekly, maybe semi-weekly or bi-weekly. I don't know which would be correct.
It'll either be between us, like every 7 to 10 days, I reckon. We'll try and
Yeah.
pump it out every day.
Hopefully.
So,
But thanks,
thank you
JNhan,
very
for
much
being on the
coming
first episode.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no problem, dudes.
on.
Yeah.
Have a great day, man.
You too, guys. Peace out.
So.